Okay, welcome back, students, American Public University. Welcome back, HCAD 300, Legal and Ethical Principles in Healthcare. You have made it past the halfway point in the course. Congratulations. There's still so much hard work to do, but congratulations for getting so far. And I really appreciate the thoughtfulness of your discussion board postings, and just the rigor that you bring to the course. So please keep that up through these weeks, and through the end of the course, of course, in your degree program, by extension. But in week five, we will continue our conversation on contemporary ethical dilemmas. You're going to identify and describe these challenges. You're going to highlight existing guidelines and policies regarding the management of these challenges. You're going to look for themes and discussions that include interprofessional conflict, health resource allocation, research and education. And then you're going to look for areas of needs assessment. Now, that reading list that you had, that we started in week four, that's going to be good for weeks 4 and 5. So, any articles that you didn't get an opportunity to read in week four, I want you to read in week five. If there were some articles that resonated with you from week four, go ahead and reread those or bring those forward and integrate them into your research, integrate them into your responses to your discussion board postings. And of course, you've got some critical thinking assignments coming up. So integrate some of that information there. And remember the levels there. Is it scholarly? Is it credible? If they are, and I'm sure they are, go ahead and integrate that into your uh, research there. So there's a couple of lectures there, and we're really looking at, in this case, prenatal whole genome sequencing. Excuse me. And a part of my professional career outside of teaching, I actually worked for a company called Sequenom Center for Molecular Medicine that pioneered and invented the non-invasive prenatal testing for genetic diseases. That company was actually since brought out by uh, a genetics company that was owned by LabCorp. But yeah, so saying all of that to say it's still a front and center ethical dilemma or ethical challenge that we face here. Testing, or the ability to test the fetus for its genetic diseases, and then decisions that parents have to make regarding the risk associated with the pregnancy and pregnancy conditions, and uh, all kinds of decisions there that you're going to read about in the introduction. Real good one about who owns a dead man's sperm. uh, yeah, really just cutting edge issues there. I'm not going to go through all of these issues here, but go ahead and read them and pick the ones that really resonate with you the most to do a deep dive. I can take just about all of these issues here that you're reading about. I studied them at the PhD level when I was getting my doctorate in health sciences, because I wanted to know about all of the cutting edge science issues of the day. And then when I went back and got my law degree, I looked at it from an ethics and legal perspective. So do yourself a favor and do the research here, and uh, read each one of these lectures or mini lectures, and then do the corresponding research that is associated with that. Okay. You do have a discussion board posting in week 5, and that discussion board posting is you're going to do some outside research to address the issues. You're going to provide an overview of the presentation that's due at the end of the week. You can use this 5-step guideline to help you with both the presentation and the discussion board posting for that matter. You're going to tell us what topic you're discussing, what are the legal and ethical considerations of that topic, what are your own thoughts about the topic and why it resonates with you, and then did you change your stance or view of the topic after your research? So those are the things that we want to know. Inquiring minds want to know, if you will. And then you've got an assignment in week 5. And that assignment will ask you to, first of all, understand the role of federal and state governments in promoting access to healthcare presentation. So you're going to choose an issue that we've discussed in class that resonates with you. You're going to include related healthcare ethics and laws that are associated with that topic. You're going to create a minimum 10, maximum 12 slide PowerPoint presentation. Of course, that does not include the title page or the reference page. You're going to provide an overview of the following. Define the ethical dilemma. This is the issue that you're researching. The history of the ethics behind the issue. An overview of the impact of the issue, who's it impacting, who has it had an impact on, who's the target population. Give us some descriptive statistics and analysis to better understand the contextual analysis you're doing. Want you to explain any local, state, or federal laws or the roles that these entities have in with access, if you will, either enhancing it or limiting access to healthcare related to your topic, of course. And then finally, you're going to summarize the laws and policy development and recommendations. And then you're going to recommend what is needed to better address this health/ethical issue within your target population. And you're going to provide a conclusion. Please remember, scholarly environment, we're asking you to use APA version 7. That means that you have to have in-text citations, because without in-text citations, you don't have an APA presentation. And so those in-text citations need to come from scholarly sources or credible sources. Remember, those scholarly sources are coming from your academic textbook, from your articles, from peer-reviewed journals, any information coming from a .edu website, any information coming from a .gov website. Now, with that being said, be careful with the blogs, especially just be careful with blogs. I know that technically a blog can still come from, let's say a government source or an educational source. But I'm going to caution you to be very careful with using blogs, even though those blogs may come from one of those scholarly sources. And then there are other sources, right? These credible sources. These credible sources may be industry white papers. It may be information coming from professional associations like the American Bar Association or the Health Law Association. For example, those are credible. They haven't met the rigor of the peer review process, but since they are being published by working professionals in the field that are up to speed with the laws, rules, regulations, business practices, and customs, it's considered credible. Anything after that, you can use as supportive information, but they don't rise to the rigor of credibility and scholarly when we talk about evidence to support your positions. Okay, so some of you will have and we're still here in week 4 and 5. Some of you here will have the benefit of filling out an assessment there. So I'm not going to go over that. You know who you are. And so, yeah, if there's any questions about that, those of you that are exempt from that, I think you've been contacted. Those of you that have not been contacted, the expectation is that you'll participate in that assessment. If you've got any questions, I'll do my best to just confirm if you're on the list or not. But in order to get any issues resolved, or you may have to reach out to administration, but we'll play that by ear. Okay, thank you very much. Wow, that was week 5. Certainly have a lot of work to do as we go through the mid-course modules. You're doing a wonderful job. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for your support of service family members, or whatever you do to kind of make our world go around, if you will. See you on the discussion boards.